everybody, it's Michelle here, and we are continuing with our cleanse. Somebody in our group called it a cleanse, where we're taking a little bit of time and clearing anything that's no longer serving us. I was calling it a clearathon. Somebody in our group called it a cleanse, and I thought that was a really good name for it. So you can call it whatever you want, but what we're doing is I asked you a couple days ago, hi Kara, I asked you a couple days ago, what are you willing to let go of? Or what are you at least willing to practice letting go of? And everybody typed in different things, fears and anxieties and humiliations and procrastinations and negative self-talk and aggravation. And some people think it's crazy to actually say what you're wanting to let go of. It like goes against the law of attraction. But I really believe if you face it, say it, put it out there, that is a better way to release it. Sometimes when you hold it inside and kind of keep it in the drawer over there or the closet and just have happy, positive thoughts, but you know that negativity's in the right over here, it's still running within you. So sometimes it's better to just open the closet door or open the drawer and bring it out and put it on a plate, because you don't usually put it there. So that's a change in the pattern. Does that make sense? Hi, Michelle. So that's what we're going to do today. So we started that a couple days ago, where we talked about talking about your fears. Yesterday we started talking about everything you wanted to let go of. Then yesterday we talked about the biggie that we picked to talk about were fears. So I want to see, hi Connie, how everybody's doing today with fears. We did a big round on fears. Most everyone started to feel a difference in their fears. So I'm going to talk about that first. So yesterday we worked on fears. Everyone has their unique fears. It's just part of the human condition, I think, to have fears. And then within that, I want to tie in worries, because fear and worry were the top two things that people said they'd like to release. And I've said this before, if you are a worrier, it's really important for you to release that. Hi, Tanya. Worry is a big thing to release, because for lots of reasons. You may have become a worrier because there was a trauma in your life, or you may have become a worrier because your mom or dad was a worrier, so then you just learned, it was a learned pattern. And there's other reasons too. It can feel so normal to worry that you don't even realize how detrimental it is. Worrying is a big deal, but you don't know it if it feels normal. So if you're a worrier, I want you to tap along here with us. And then we'll also do fears, because I think fears and worries go together. Okay, so I want to first, before we get started, just talk a little bit about all the things that people listed in our group that they were ready to let go of. So take a deep breath in. Blow it away. And just let your body settle. And I want you to just hear these. And if they resonate with you, I want you to start telling yourself, I'm going to let that one go too. Okay, so here's some of the things that people brought up. Stress, guilt, self-doubt was a big one. Taking on other people's emotions, negative energy, not knowing their feelings from someone else's. Those are big things that sensitives need to deal with, and we'll talk about that in more videos. Carrying other people's emotions, same thing. Letting go of negative remarks, picking up on the energy in a space. These are all things that sensitives deal with. Believing in myself, that's probably with self-doubt. Childhood trauma, that's a big one for a lot of sensitives. Resentments, insecurities, that's probably goes with self-doubt. Fear, and let's just check on the fear now. We had lots of different fears. Hi Lily. Fear of death, fear of success, fear of the unknown. I want to talk about that. Fear of men, fear of letting go, fear of failure, fear of letting go again, fear of being hurt. And then there were a lot of just the word fear in general, and I don't know in particular which ones they were talking about. Lack of confidence, I think I said that. Fear of change. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit more about fear, and I'd love to do one more round with fear. So we did the last video, we did fear. A lot of people felt different. Did that lightness or did that ease stay with you, or did your old fear come back and you're back to a 7, 8, 9, 10? Just notice that shift. And then another thing that I noticed a few people commented on about after we did a few rounds, or after we did that round yesterday, is one person felt a little nauseous. Somebody else felt dizzy. And number one, I want you to be careful. And number two, it's pretty normal to feel a little disoriented after a round or two. If you think about it, you're structured a certain way, right? And when you start to mess with the structure, when you start to say, I'm going to let go of this, I'm going to let go of that, it's a little disorienting to the physical body. And you might have a symptom of dizziness or nauseous. Some people just feel like the weight of the world just went off their shoulders and it feels better immediately. That's usually what happens. But if you get another side effect, don't worry. That's actually a good sign too. Another thing that happens to me after I've done the inner work on myself is sometimes I'll have a nightmare. Like I must have messed with my unconscious or my subconscious stuff. The way, it's almost like I stirred the pot a little bit, which we want to. Does that make sense at all? Hi, Stacy. Okay, so let's do one more round of fear and worry, and let's see what happens for everybody. Okay, can you open up that closet, the unconscious closet, or the drawer, and think about your fear, or think about your worry again? Are you able to do that? I want you to go ahead and do that. Somebody had a fear of spiders yesterday. Fear of the unknown is huge. Hi, Sandra. Good. Okay. Let's talk about the fear of the unknown briefly. You know how we're wired to not want to do anything new? Well, a part of us is our physicalness. I talked about it yesterday, like we can contract when we think about the unknown. I want you to start thinking about the unknown as where all the possibilities are for you, where all the greatness potential is for you. Can you step into that and let the unknown be a positive space? So usually for people when they have the fear of the unknown, it's because things could get worse. Finances could get worse. Everybody thinks about the worst case scenarios. And honestly, those are in the possibilities, right? Those are part of the possibilities. They're on this end of the worst case scenarios. But so are the best case scenarios. But if all your energy is focused on the worst case scenarios, you're probably going to have more experiences over here. So we can work on that. We can release the fear that's in having the worst case scenarios show up for you. That's a fear. Does that make sense? Good. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Colleen. Okay, so let's just go to fear. If you've got a fear of the unknown, fear of anything, I want you to feel your fear. If yours is more subtle and you're calling it worry, like you worry about your kids, you're worried about the weather, you worry about this, you worry about so-and-so getting along with so-and-so, you worry about your job, bring up your worry or bring up your fear. And I want you to measure it 0 to 10. And I want you to type in what your number is so I can see who I'm working with. Bring up your fear or your worry. 0, it doesn't bother you at all. 10, it really bothers you. We've got an 8, a 4. What else? Feel your feeling. Iris says she's a 20. She's off the charts. Lisa says she's an 8. Connie, 7. 7. Jackie? Did I say that right? I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Sandra's a 5. Stacy's an 8. Amanda is a 4. Lily, I am scared of loss of freedom. Oh, and you're a 10. Iris. Becky is a 6. Dawn is a 3. Kathy is an 8. Kelly is an 8. Okay. Somebody asked, what are you rating? I want you to feel your fear, and I want you to measure it. So feel the fear inside your body. I want you to measure it. 0, you can't make your fear bother you at all, or your worry. 10, all the way up to 10, it really bothers you when you think about it. Fiona is an 8. Michelle is a 6. So let's just get started. Feel your feelings, and I want you to start tapping at your eyebrow point. Take a deep breath in. Blow it away. And you're just going to repeat after me, out loud if you can. If you can't, just say it in your mind. I release and let go of all the sadnesses. I release and let go of all the fears. It's safe for me to soften my body. Side of your eye, you're tapping at the side of your eye, 1 hand or 2, it doesn't matter. I release and let go of all the loneliness, the anger, and I'm letting go of the resentments. Underneath your eyes, I release and let go of all the confusion, all the guilts and judgments, all the abandonments and betrayals. That feeling right there, it's safe to let it go now. At your collarbone, that feeling right there, it's leaving my body now, drifting away, and I'm okay. I can get it back when I want to, but for now, I'm going to see what it feels like to live without it. I want you to grab your wrist, give it a little squeeze, take a deep breath in, blow it away. Peace. And I want you to say peace, or maybe the words freedom. And I really want you to just sit for a second and let that peace or freedom wash over you or fill you up a little bit. And just hold it. Or maybe it's a feeling of love or neutral. Just whatever that feeling is, hold it. And as you hold it, I want you to take a deep breath in. You can even take your hands out here. Take a deep breath in and expand that feeling of peace, love, freedom, neutral, whatever you want to call it. Expand it out with your breath. So you're breathing in and you're holding that peace, love, freedom a little longer than you normally do. And then as you exhale, just let it come back in and settle. Good. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Move your eyes around a little bit. Left, right, up, down. And then come back into your body and see how you feel. And I want you to measure it again. I feel a little lightheaded. I don't know how you feel. I want you to measure it again, 0 to 10, or same or different. And type that in so I can kind of work with you if I can. How do you feel now that we did that? Stacy says, feels great. Colleen said, I'm ready to let this all go. Amen, Colleen. Dawn says she feels light. Good. Anybody else? Sometimes Sandra says better, she's a 3. Fiona says she's about a 3. Iris says she's at a 6. I forget what you were at before, Iris. Stacy said lower now, at a 6. Michelle says she's at a 2. Lisa says she's a little calmer. And Lily says I am tingling and I'm about a 5. Good. Galen says light and warm. Sandra says thank you, you're welcome. Kara's lighter. Went from worry to for the worst to excited. Good. Very light and freeing, says Michelle. A bit lightheaded, Connie says. I am too, Connie. It's okay. And Kelly says open to a new future. Fiona says I feel lighter. Thank you. Good. Okay. So that's a great next step. So I added a new little piece in this video. Do you know how we released? And then at the end, we kind of, hopefully I tried to bring in the thought of peace or freedom or love. The strange thing is we can only hold that for so long. We're so used to the other pattern that I'm starting to try to pattern us to holding more peace, love, freedom, ease. And I tried to do that with you at the end there. So you can practice that on your own, releasing, and then it feels like there's this empty space, and that's where the lightheadedness or the tingly come in. And I call it like fertile soil. Plant the peace and the love and the ease. Becky says hands, body tingling, lightheaded, and I'm at a 2. That's great, Becky. Galen gives me the peace sign. Peace right back at you. Okay, so we're going to do this again the next day at noon, and then on New Year's Day at noon we'll do it again. And I'm hoping by New Year's Day we'll feel like we've released a lot. Maybe we can just plant some awesome seeds, but we'll see how it goes. And then Fiona says, I will be practicing this more often on my own. This is great. This is a practice. Just like if I wanted to be a runner and I wanted to run a marathon, I would have to practice, right? Or if I wanted to do push-ups and be really good at doing 50 push-ups, I would start with 1 or 2. I would have to practice doing push-ups to make it easier for me to do a lot of push-ups. This is exactly the same way. You can't, here's what people say. What if I'm not doing it right, Michelle? If you try and make effort with the intention to heal yourself, you're doing enough. Just try it. So keep working on it, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time. And I have time today, so I'm going to get in this thread and I can answer any questions too. Okay, have a great day.